Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Cheatin Heart IPA by YellowHammer Brewing Company in Huntsville, Alabama, coming in at 6.2% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome to End of the Day Beer Review, and today we are looking at another beer that was provided to me by Grumpy Grandpa, so thank him again. And this is Cheatin Heart IPA. This is an IPA coming in at 6.2% ABV, and it is by YellowHammer Brewing in Huntsville, Alabama. Now, let's see. It says that it is 60 IBU. It's got 4 out of 5 out of 7 on the hop scale and 3 out of 7 out of the malt scale. I don't know what scale that is. I've never really seen that before on a can. And it says Cheatin Heart is a tropical twist on a classic IPA with a lush blend of Azalea and Mosaic hops and a passionate ale with a wandering eye. This southern beauty is hard to resist. I do like the can art here. I think that's pretty good. And on the back it says like falling rain, which I'm not sure what that means, but it does look like, I don't know, is this an inverted peace symbol there? I'm just not sure. But you know, so far everything that Grumpy Grandpa has sent up here has been really good. So I'm gonna crack this one open and we'll see. Now I have to be honest, I am not an IPA person. I'm much more a double or triple IPA person, or a stout or porter guy. So, you know, I'm always a little iffy with IPAs. So let's pour. So this is very light. I am using the proper IPA glass. Not particularly hazy, which is fine with me. It's actually, I take that back, it's not so light. This is actually, you know, reasonably dark for an IPA. And not only reasonably dark, but it does seem to have a little bit of haze to it that I didn't expect. I didn't see that before. It actually looks more like an Oktoberfest to me. Good white head on it, good sort of dark yellow, almost hinting at orange as far as the actual beer itself. Let's check the nose. I'm definitely getting the hops. That's all over the place, which is not always my favorite thing when it comes to IPAs, I have to admit. So, you know, like I'm getting sort of that grapefruit. But it's not overly pronounced. This doesn't smell to me like normally with the grapefruit smell that I get on an IPA, it automatically turns me off. I'm getting a hint of it here. There's also a little bit more citrus that I'm getting. I just can't quite place what it is. It's something else. You know, I almost want to say like I'm getting a hint of orange as opposed to grapefruit. There's definitely something sweeter there as far as the citrus aroma goes, as opposed to the bitterness that I normally associate with grapefruit. So, orange, maybe it's a hint of pineapple. I'm not sure. Like, this actually has an interesting nose to it. You know, normally I find myself turned off almost immediately by the aroma of a regular IPA, but so far this is not bad. You know, most important thing, let's check out how it tastes. Legs on this, that's only, what does that say? Is that 6.2% ABV, so a little high. Not high for here, but pretty high. For an average IPA, I mean. That's definitely pineapple. Yeah, okay, that's it. It's pineapple. I'm getting some pineapple. And that sort of generic grapefruit. So let's see how it tastes. Okay, the bitterness on this is a little on the high end. All in the back of my mouth that I'm getting that bitterness. But it's not a grapefruit flavor. It is bitter towards the end. On the front end, I'm getting a nice, and it's just a hint. It's either sort of, it almost tastes like a slight mix of like an orange and grape and pineapple flavor, which I normally say it's like sort of generic citrus, but I want to say it's leaning more towards the pineapple flavor for me, which I do sort of like. The carbonation on it is very nice. There's a little bit of fruity sweetness to it as well, which sort of breaks apart a little bit of the bitterness. But this is a much more bitter beer than you know, what I'm into. And realistically, it's not a bad beer. It's just it's an IPA, and the basic IPAs I have never really been a fan of because of that bitterness. I sort of like the sort of smoky, sort of malty flavor that I associate with stouts and porters and everything like that. Now, is this crisp? Yes, cuts right through and coats the mouth with sort of that citrus flavor. But again, for me, on the back of the tongue, that bitterness really is not doing it for me, and it's taking away from the whole experience of the beer itself. Is it a good beer? If you're an IPA drinker, you're gonna like this. At least what people who are IPA drinkers tell me that they drink IPAs for. It has that bitterness. You can taste the hoppiness to it. There's just a hint, and I mean that, just a hint of that sort of fruit flavor that's there. It's a nice beer. It's just not really a nice beer for me. For a person who drinks IPAs, listen, am I going to dump this at the end of the night? No, I'm not. This I will drink. It's approachable as an IPA. It doesn't automatically turn me off. It's just that I know that I would not seek this particular IPA again, because the bitterness for me is just a little bit too much. I have friends, people who have been on this channel who are much more into IPAs, who I think would dig this a great deal, which is why I have a second can of this. And, you know, I'm going to hang on to it for probably another week until I can share it with some other people and see what they think about it. Now, is it drinkable? Yeah, it is, absolutely. Is it my style? No. But again, it's got a good little hint of fruit flavor on the bottom end. It has a really sort of, for me, pronounced bitterness on the back end, which is all the hops, which is not, you know, all that hoppy sort of bitterness that I'm just not a huge fan of. Is it a good beer? Yeah, it's good, especially if you're an IPA person. Is it good for me? Probably not. But if you do like IPAs and you're looking for one and you happen to be down in Alabama, I would probably try YellowHammer Brewing's Cheatin Heart, because as far as fitting the bill for an IPA, it does all of that. It's crisp, it has that fruitiness, it has the hoppiness to it, and you know, it's just it's a good solid IPA. It's just, again, IPAs are not my thing. Now, again, I don't do numerical ratings, but I would say, like, would I look for this again for myself? No, not at all. Am I glad I tried it? Yes. Am I glad I have it to share with other people? Absolutely. I think they're going to get a kick out of it. And if you are an IPA person and you're down in Huntsville, Alabama, where this is actually brewed, Huntsville, Alabama, I would definitely try Cheatin Heart IPA by YellowHammer Brewing. I'm actually sort of interested to see what else YellowHammer puts out, because this is clearly a quality beer. So I sort of wonder, like, do they do stouts? Do they do other stuff? You know, like porters or even, let's say, a Pilsner. Because again, I never like to say that a brewery does a bad job when it's my personal taste that sort of makes me not particularly love the beer. You know, again, is it a good beer? It is. It's well put together. It hits all of those notes of an IPA. It's just not a good beer for me. Anyway, I am going to sit back and I'm going to drink the rest of this, because like I said, it is definitely, you know, a well-developed IPA. And if you get a chance, I really do recommend you try YellowHammer Brewing. And if you're an IPA person, you try Cheatin Heart. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the review. I will see you all next time. If you like the review, or if you have an IPA that I should try, preferably a double or triple IPA, actually, please throw the comment down below and let me know, and I'll try and hunt it up here. And I will see you all next time on End of the Day Beer Review. Cheers.